Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to link an architectural Revit model into a structural Revit file. This will be part 1 in a video series that shows how I set up an architectural Revit file when I start a new structural project. I will be using the default straight out of the box Revit Structural template, so there are no customizations already set. So I'm going to go to File, New, Project, drop this down, select the default structural template, and click OK. Okay, so by default it goes to level 2. That's why it's bolded here. I'm going to double click level 1 so I am on the first level here. Then I'm going to go to the Insert tab and click Link Revit. And here's the architectural Revit file that I want to link into my structural file. So I'm going to select that. And there are some positioning options here. And by default, it goes to by shared coordinates. The other options are auto center to center. And this option here, the center point of the incoming architectural model gets placed at the center of the structural model. Now, if there are no structural model elements in the structural file, Revit will automatically calculate a point in the structural file. This could lead to future issues once you start generating a structural model and you have to relink or reload an architectural Revit model. Revit will automatically recalculate a new center point based on the modeled structural elements. So if you initially linked it with no structural model elements there, the calculation point will be different when you reload or relink it. All right, the next option is auto origin to origin. The origin point of the incoming architectural model gets placed at the origin point of the structural file. This is one of my preferred methods of linking because the origin point of the files is always the same. If you think about it in a user coordinate system terms, it's aligning both files at a 0 x-axis, a 0 y-axis, and a 0 z-axis. So this is the easiest option to use, and like I said, it's one of my preferred options. The next option is by shared coordinates. Now this one, the architectural model has a shared coordinate already established within the Revit file. That shared coordinate is used to locate the architectural model into the structural Revit file. Typically, an architect will notify you if the project has shared coordinates already established. This option is typically for large projects with multiple buildings that have multiple teams working on those buildings at the same time. I maybe have used this option maybe once in my career, and it was a little bit complicated to set up at first. But once it's set up, it's pretty straightforward. But again, the architect has to have these shared coordinates already established in the architectural Revit file and notify you that that's what's being used. So when you link it, you use that option. All right, the next option is auto project base point to project base point. So in this option, the project base point of the incoming architectural model gets placed at the project base points of the structural file. If you're new to Revit, you're probably wondering what a project base point is. So a project base point is a point in a Revit file that you can modify to match the project's actual sea level elevation and or survey point. If the incoming architectural model has this point modified and the structural file does not have the point modified to match the architectural model project base point, you will run into some issues. I've run into issues with this in the past where my floor levels were at crazy heights. If you have to use this option, you will have to adjust the project base point of the structural file to match the project base point of the architectural model. That will eliminate crazy level heights in your project. The other 3 options that are remaining here are manual origin, manual base point, and manual center. It's basically the same as auto center, auto to origin, and base point, except you're manually locating those points. I don't use those often because I like to match what the points are in the architectural Revit file. Okay. So like I said, my preferred option is auto origin to origin. So I'm going to select that and click open. And you can see here that something has been loaded. If I zoom out, see here that the architectural Revit model has been linked into my structural file. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. If you feel that this video might help someone you know, go ahead and share this video. And if you're interested in continuing to watch this series, hit the subscribe button.